Cancer, hello my beautiful creatures, how are you? Welcome to your reading for the week of the 13th of June 2022. I am going to just draw a card, I'm going to draw two cards are telling me. I'm going to draw two cards from the Chakra Insight Oracle. And this is going to just give us a bit of a vibe, a bit of a feel for what's going on this week. Now there are far too many cards there. Getting told no. That one I'm getting told. Okay, thank you guides. So let's have a look at what we do have here. The first card out is the base chakra. So it might be this week there might be a little bit of extra attention that you could give to the base chakra. So that sense of how you can stay grounded, focused. We will look at what card comes out in the spread in terms of how we can stay grounded and focused this week. So it's that sense of being connected to nature, sending that energy deep down into the roots, deep down into Mother Earth so that she can hold us, she can purify any negative energies for us. And we need that strong base chakra if we're wanting to do any higher work, because we really need to be really well grounded if we want to go off playing in the universe. So the base chakra is coming up for you there, my darling Cancers. The other card, next card out, is emotional balance. And the words on the card, if you can't read it, are stability, harmony, peace, and fluidity. So look at that picture, my beautiful Cancer. I wonder if we're going to get an Ace of Cups in the reading for you today. I have had loads of aces in the reading so far. So lots of new beginnings for people. Look, really sitting with it's a really lovely sort of peaceful, heart-opening kind of energy for you here. Obviously it's got the green border, so we're looking at that heart-centered chakra. So let's see how the rest of the draw unfolds for us. So I am using the Tarot of Curious Creatures by Chris Ann, and I'm doing a layout called Outside of the Box, which is a design that I have come up with myself. If you were here last week, it's the same as last week. If not, thanks for being here today. So the first card out is the Eight of Wands. So potentially things happening quickly for you this week. Let's see how the rest of the cards tell the story. Now, as usual, I have called in my guardians, guides, angels, and ancestors who love me unconditionally and are of the highest vibration. I would invite you to do the same if you are so drawn, and may just help you to tap in with the energies a little bit more. Now, just bear with me. I just need a little bit of guidance on which card is which. So the next card out here is the Seven of Pentacles. That is in the position of something unexpected or a surprise this week for you. The next card out is the Three of Swords. And this is in the position of how we can stay grounded and focused this week. Interesting card for that position. What I will say is that Libra had that card in that exact same position. And I'll tell you the advice that I gave them when we get to it. But if you've got any Libra placements, it might be well worth having a look at. I'm pretty sure it was Libra also had the Seven of Pentacles down in their relationships position as well. So definitely if you have Libra placements, maybe check in with that reading as well. The next card out is the card that sits in the position of your emotions for this week. It'll be interesting to see how it goes compared to this emotional balance card. The Nine of Swords. Okay, so this could be more of an advice rather than what potentially could be going on for you this week. I'll explain that more a little bit further. The next card out is the Five of Swords. This is in the position of your inspirations. So Cancer, similar to Libra's reading, I wouldn't be surprised if you've got some Libra placements, because Libra also had a whole bunch of really uncomfortable, sticky, ending swords. They had the Three of Swords. So we've got three swords here in a row. So, and they're not the typical good swords, They're not the swords of power and the swords of truth. They're not the swords of new ideas and new inspirations. They're some of the more uncomfortable swords. So let's see if we can turn this reading around, get you some positive cards. Look, there is a sword that's come out for you, and it is probably the best of the swords in my opinion. It's the Ace of Swords, and it's coming in your position of how you can best support yourself. Interesting. The next card out we're looking for is the card in this bottom corner, and it's in the position of your relationships this week. Again, the Hanged Man. Pretty sure it was Libra that had the Hanged Man as well, maybe in this position here. I feel like it was, because it was their changing their perspective was how we could navigate through those some of those more uncomfortable energies. That may well be the case for us when we have a look at the story that is unfolding here. So that Hanged Man is in the position of our relationships this week. The final card on the outside of the box is the card that sits or tells us what's potentially going on in your energy for your career, what it is you do from day to day, even if you're retired or a student or somebody who's at home raising children, whatever it is. Whatever it is, it's good, and you are the boss, my friend, because we've got the King of Wands in this position. So a very strong position there to have in your career. I am going to get one final card, and this is the card that sits on the outside of the box. So sometimes it's a indication of how we can start to think outside the box, but I tend to see it as the message from the universe. And what better message from the universe than a gift from the universe? So it is the Ace of Wands. So let's just have a little bit of a zoom out. Let's have a look at what's going on as a whole. So the first thing I want to say is that I'm really drawn to that base chakra card. I think that's going to be more important for you this week than potentially the emotional balance. So, you know, that's probably more of an orange. It's more the sacral chakra, but it's still kind of a lower chakra feel. It's a lower chakra energy. The King of Wands, absolutely sitting in that, you know, the base chakra, the sacral chakra. So there's really this sense that that's going to be important for you, that sense of groundedness, that sense of being connected, that sense of, Sorry, I just got distracted because this lion started talking to me and he said the sense of power, but that really is sitting in that the yellow suit that he's wearing. So that's that solar plexus energy of the I am, and really knowing that strength in yourself. There is a little bit of yellow there, that sense of I am, the solar plexus. Less so with the green, and I think this emotional balance card is going to really lean in, especially, you know, I just want to kind of put those two cards together, this emotional balance with the Nine of Swords. Obviously, it's going to come into play with the Three of Swords and the Five of Swords as well. So let's just see, before we break it down, we do have the two aces. So look, whatever unfolds, excuse me, in the reading, it's all this incense. Whatever unfolds in the reading, we've got a new beginning from the universe. We've got two aces. Two aces is that's a heck yes, you know, like absolutely there's some shifts coming, and let's just kick on. We've got this first card, the Eight of Wands. So things are happening, this gift from the universe, and things are going to happen quickly. So I would almost, you know, even though in the position of something that is unexpected or a surprise this week, the aces are always surprises. So these two aces may come in as a surprise for you this week. The advice with the aces is both of them is, you know, it's a gift from the universe, so you want to grab it. You can see the gecko's hand here is grabbing it. The little gecko is going to grab it and run because they know it's an opportunity too good to resist. So if those new opportunities come in, grab it and run, like this little guy here in the Eight of Wands. So yeah, definitely, there's definitely some momentum, some energy, some new inspirations, new ideas, new passions that are being dropped into you this week. The second card out is the Seven of Pentacles. This is in the position of something unexpected or a surprise this week. So you might have a surprise that sees you re-evaluating what you have around you in terms of your resources. So you might be thinking, there may be an opportunity here for you to assess if what you're putting your efforts into is actually worth it, or whether you might need to pull some of this crop out and plant something that's going to be more fruitful, more beneficial, give you more bang for your buck, if that makes sense. So in this position, as I said, it may come as a surprise that you're like, oh, hang on, I could do this differently. So be open to that. So sometimes if we get in a comfort zone, and sometimes it's difficult for some people. I'm a very impulsive Leo, so it's not for me, but for some people it's difficult to step outside of that comfort zone. But here you might be surprised in your capability to just go, yeah, all right, let's just rejig things a little bit. Let's just see how we can make this work better for me. The next card out, again, I did mention it with Libra being in that same position. It's that Three of Swords, and it's in the position of how we can stay grounded and focused this week. Now, counterintuitive to the position in the read. So what I'd say is not really related to that position much at all. There's a little bit of, maybe a little bit of a message we can get there. And the message I am getting with this is the same interpretation that I want to give you as I gave Libra. And what I said to them was I was visualizing the artwork of kintsugi, the Japanese pottery, where they repair broken pottery or cracks in pottery with pure gold. And the pots are then deemed to be more valuable and more, they're obviously not going to be stronger, but in terms of us moving forward after we've had a heartbreak, after we've had three swords, stab through our heart, is that we can mend those cracks, and it's actually those cracks that allow the light to get in, and that light then can help us to raise our vibration, and it can help us to get to a different level. And I said this to Libra as well, so if you go and watch it you will hear it. Get to a different level of compassion for ourselves and compassion for other people. And so in terms of staying focused and grounded, it's really about remembering that even though this is painful as hell, whatever it is, it could be a relationship breakup, it could be a loss of a job, it could be, maybe a loss of even, who you are, your identity, your status, any of those type of things. It is a fairly deep heart pain that potentially you have experienced, but it is temporary. And once we mend it, we can mend it with gold. We can, bring the light in to help to mend it. And it does make us stronger and more beautiful and more, you're gentle as it is, Cancer. You're very gentle and emotional anyway. So it might actually just help to build that little bit of resilience. I do hope that makes sense. The next card out is the Nine of Swords, and that is in the position of your emotions. So this is a bit of a nightmare energy. So emotionally this week you could be dealing and sitting in a lot of anxiety. You could be overthinking things. A lot of this is really anxiety, and the question is, does it need to be there? Like, are you making it bigger in your mind than it actually is? Like the owl in this image, if you listen to the owl's hoot of a nighttime, it might scare the bejeebers out of you. But when you see the owl in the daytime, you're mesmerized and you're like, wow, what a beautiful creature the owl is, all that wisdom. And So I would invite you to draw that wisdom in and just ask, are you building up this, this haunting hoot that you're hearing in your mind? Are you building it up to be something that it's not? It's actually scarier than the reality. So the reality check is probably the word I want to use there. Is the anxiety, and it could well be that the anxiety you're feeling is very real, but yeah, I want to see you bring that emotional balance into your emotions this week. See if you can bring in some of that stability, harmony, peace, and fluidity. Let it flow. Don't get caught up in overthinking things, okay? The next card out is the Five of Swords. Again, another uncomfortable sword energy. And it's sitting in the position of your inspirations. How can we be inspired with this card, my friends? So the Five of Swords as a card, it's asking whether, a lot of this is how we want to respond to the challenges that have come into us this week. So we've got the challenges of potentially some heartbreak. We've got the challenges of potentially some anxiety. Here we've got the challenge of potentially some conflict. And again, it's how can we deal with it? So here we're going to use some skills to grow from that experience. Here we're going to use some skills to maybe bring some balance back into that anxiety, that worry, that fear. Here we're going to bring some skills in and ask, hang on a minute, do I really want to be involved in this conflict or potential conflict? Do I need to be? Is it for my higher purpose? Am I taking on a challenge that's really, it's too big a fight and I might very well get hurt? And can I be the bigger man, so to speak? No gender attached. Can I be the bigger person and walk away? Is it a fight that I really want to take on, Right, the next card out is our beautiful Ace of Swords. So this is our new inspiration, new ideas dropping in from the universe. Sometimes it can be a victory card or a sword of justice type energy that's coming in, but definitely I see it more as that new idea, new inspiration, particularly with that Ace of Wands there. So they've got a beautiful relationship here in that they're both indicating that there's something new that's going to be dropped into the universe, literally dropped into the universe for you. So as I said before, do make sure you grab that sword, grab that new idea, that new inspiration, whatever it is, grab it with, this little guy's only grabbing it with one hand, but I'd actually grab both of them with both hands, if that makes sense, and run. They've both got this red road that is leading down ahead of them after they grab it, or after you grab it. So it's the start, and it's the start of the road, and it's the start of that building that security, building that base chakra, because we've got the red in that one, the orange. So we're building that good base foundation, and it will lead to that place of security and safety, and having that having those material resources provided for us. Even though there's no pentacles, you've got no pentacles. Oh, you've got the Seven of Pentacles, but you've got very few pentacles in the spread here. It's really about those emotions, that kind of heady stuff for you this week. So the next card out is the Hanged Man. It's in the position of your relationships. So the Hanged Man reminds us that we can change our perspective on things. So here, you might, in terms of your relationships, you might be looking at your relationships in a different way. You might be thinking, are they working for me? Seven of Pentacles. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Thank you, Minnow Pond. And is there something I want to do differently? So this bat you know, he's a very unique creature. He's hanging upside down. He's barely hanging on. So he's really hardly attached to anything. So, you know, are you overly attached potentially to some relationships that you can let go? You know, are you so different maybe from some relationships that you've completely changed and now maybe you can't relate on the same level? And the other thing is that the bats navigate their way through the world by a sense of like a sonic navigation. So the other advice I'm going to hear is to you will intuitively know if there's relationships in your life that maybe need some reassessment, maybe need some, you know, pruning, some ripping out, some replanting, some, you know, some reinvestment. So you will know where that is going, I'm sure, because it's not going to be, you know, it's certainly not a surprise for you this week. The final card on the outside of the box is that King of Wands, and this is in the position of your career. So as I said when it did come out, there's not much more to say about this card because it really is just showing that in terms of your career, what it is that you do from day to day, is that you're actually really comfortable and happy in this place. You know, you're an incredible leader. You may well be in a leadership position. You may even be like a business person. I was going to say businessman, but a business person, an entrepreneur. So you're a creative thinker. You're someone who thinks outside the box, and you know, you are passionate, you are strong and capable and brave, and you know, all of those really good qualities. But you're also you know, compassionate in terms of your leading style and that sort of thing as well. So in terms of your career, there's that. I'd be surprised if this sword energy is related to your career. I feel like this is really connected to more to your emotions. Your career is actually pretty stable. So that final card we have touched on quite a little bit as well, that Ace of Wands, message from the universe. It is a gift, it is an opportunity. And the Wands, as I'm sure you know, we have touched on it here with the King of Wands, it's about passion. It's about things that really stimulate you, excite you. It can be something creative potentially. So do take it how it resonates. And my beautiful Cancer friends, I think that's all for today. But a mixed reading, again, similar to Libra. And if you do have those Libra placements, go and check it out, because you will see it's very similar in terms of, you know, a handful of really sticky cards and then a handful of, you know, quite really good cards. So, yeah, I hope that helps you to navigate any of this, particularly the sticky stuff, you know. And we don't really ever need help navigating the good stuff because we're too much in the moment, enjoying it, as the case may be. But sometimes when that sticky, yucky sword energy comes up, it's good to have some advice on how to deal with it. So I do hope that maybe some of the things that I've suggested there might just help you this week. All right, my beautiful friends, if you've enjoyed it, please do like, share and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.